22% of Americans think they can retire with less than $500,000. Are they crazy? Crazy, I tell you. Oh my goodness, how double dog dare they? Before we get started, happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget, St. Patrick was a slave. The Brits enslaved him. All right, so I'm just throwing it out there. St. Patrick was a slave. He was 6 years a slave, I think. 6 years a slave. Just throwing it out there for you. But I did, in case you're wondering why I'm so fired up, because I'm drunk. I had some Guinness tonight. My wife made this recipe, some kind of Guinness marination thing. Oh my goodness, with a Gouda cheese. Oh, it was so good. So I freaking up there. I seared it up there on my grill right there at high heat on a griddle. Dumped this Guinness kind of marination. I don't know what the hell you call it on to help with the sear. Oh my goodness! And this Gouda cheese, whatever that's called, you dip in there. Oh, it's so good. So I did have some Guinness tonight. Actually, it's funny because when she was making it, I said, "Man, it smells like the bar I used to work at." I mean, literally, I walked in the kitchen. I was like, "Man, this literally." I was like thinking back to 1994, 1995. It's crazy. Like I haven't smelled that in a long, long time. The brew pub with the hops and all the barley and whatnot. Anyway, so happy St. Patrick's Day. I'd highly encourage you to give up alcohol, by the way. Alcohol is not, you just don't need it, dude. It's no good. Give it up. Give it up. Now, you might be able to drink a beer or two. I can't. If you're one of those guys like me who can't, you probably shouldn't. It's not good on your belly. It's not good on your mind. Now, some of you guys can. Not your old buddy Josh. There's no such thing as one beer, especially a pint of Guinness. Oh, dude, I'd be like, oh. This is what happens when you give up a thing, whatever it's called, a sinful behavior. We've had this freaking pint of Guinness. It's in a can, in a fridge, for like 3 years. I haven't touched it, and I love Guinness, dude. There's Pablo. Pablo, you're Mexican. You don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I love Guinness, and yet I haven't had any desire at all. I had a couple times like, oh, it would be nice to drink it, in terms of like, oh, I'm not like that, but I said, oh yeah, I can go for some Guinness. I could kill. When I was a drinking guy, I'd kill Guinness, dude. Kill it. I said, Mr. Guinness, I'm going to take over your firm. He said, just drink my beer. Just drink the beer, Josh. Top of the morning, Josh. Just drink the beer. That's my Irish accent. All right, enough of that. Let's go to this stupid thing. One of y'all sent this to me. I forgot who it was. 22% of Americans think they can retire on $500,000 left. Is that feasible? And the answer, of course, it's feasible. In most circumstances, $500,000 no small sum. But when it comes to retirement, it's not enough for many Americans. That's not to say it's impossible to retire on $500,000, but it can make retiring comfortably a challenge. The average retirement account balance for those ages 65 to 74 is over $600,000. Oh, he does say it right here. Look, he does. But that's skewed towards those with the larger balances, considering the median is only $200,000. So if the median is $200,000, people are retired. There's no bread lines. Come on, man. I appreciate these articles. It gives me. I'm gonna have to probably cut my hair up top. Looks good. The side doesn't look so good though. Looking good. I haven't showered today. Look at that. Yeah, looking good for guys in the shower today. For an old man, 53 years old, hasn't showered, who's got a dog in his lap. You're all right by me, Daddy. You're all right by me, Daddy Josh. All right, so let's see. Let's continue reading. While that might still sound like a lot, 200,000 schmackaroonies, consider that retirement savings are meant to last for decades without much income to replenish those balances. When you add up ordinary living expenses like food, healthcare, and housing, it can be hard to turn even $500,000 to enough retirement income. Here's this guy from Midland Financial. I think this is a bit of a low goal for the average person to try to retire with. The person would need to have low expenses to be able to retire comfortably. Low expenses. How do we get low expenses? Guy from whatever we call Milton Financial, Midland, something like that. Oh, we have no debt. Oh, by the way, let's just look at what the BLS says here today, as a matter of fact. I saw this come across. I was looking at some BLS stuff, and I thought I'd share this with you. And I said, this is good. I thought about doing a video. I'll probably do it tomorrow. It's a beautiful, beautiful day outside. Oh, the mosquitoes are going to start coming here in a little bit, though. Freaking mosquitoes. Hold on, pause this real quick and find. Actually, let me just see if I can't find this real quick. So the BLS says right there. Never mind. I'll have to look someplace else. I'll do a video on it tomorrow. Basically, what it is the average household retiree spending is $54,000 a year. The average household retiree spending. All right, so let's tell you what. Let's do a quick thing here, real quick. We're gonna bring up our calendar, our calculator. We're gonna say the average Social Security benefit. I think is like $1,850. All right. We're gonna times that by 12, and then we're gonna equal that. It's $22,000 a year. All right. So that's just. But remember the household. All right, that is 2 people or 1 person. So we're going to say the average Social Security benefit is 1.5% of this, 1.5 times, because a lot of households have 2 people. Not all of them do, but some do. So we're going to say the average benefit is $1,800 a month times by 1.5. That should give us what, $2,700 a month? Yeah, $2,700 a month. Times that by 12. So the average Social Security benefit is $32,400. I'm just using averages here for the time being. That's okay. $32,400. The average household spending is $54,000. So that's, I mean, I can even figure that out. It's $22,000 a year. $22,000 a year divided by 0.05, I think is what I want to do. So that means you need $440,000. All right. And that's, if you actually look at the expenditures that these guys have in the BLS, I'll do a video on it tomorrow. I've done a video on that before. Transportation is huge. Transportation includes what? The purchasing of a new vehicle or a leasing of a new vehicle. Do you do that? Do you? I mean, I'm not talking about the average Joe Schmo out there. I'm just talking about you who's watching this video. And the largest expense is freaking housing. You're like, well, literally, I think the housing, let me see. I'll do a video on that. I think housing is like $11,000 a year. That's 1/5 of the people's expenditures. 20% went to housing. You're like, for what? And they say, well, even without a mortgage, your housing costs are still high. Well, they can be if you live in New Jersey, New Hampshire, sure. If you live in some other place, though, not necessarily. Isn't that interesting? But either way, 54,000 people is the average. They're making it happen somehow. All right, so let's keep going. Let's explore whether retiring with $500,000 is feasible or not. Look at these guys. They're so happy with their credit card. Suppose you and your spouse had $500,000 in retirement savings and you took out 4% a year. That yields you $20,000 a year. Then if you add your average Social Security retirement benefit, the average is $1,900 this year. Okay, that would give you you got $1,600 plus $1,900, and assume your spouse also gets the amount. Your total Social Security plus retirement savings would be $5,400 a month. So if you take our trusty calculator, $5,400 a month, 5,400 times 12. The average benefit there, that's with having $500,000 is what? $65,000. The average retiree's household spends what? You want to take a guess? $54,000. So we're doing okay. Oh, by the way, taxes, hardly anything for retirees. If you compare that to how much the average, right here, $4,300 according to BLS, right there. Then $500,000 or even a little less in retirement savings might seem like plenty. The problem is how the average might not cut it. Considering that 80% of households, American households with older adults, are either financially struggling or facing economic uncertainty. Says the National Center of Aging. Oh, we got to check this. National Counseling of Aging says 80% of households with older adults are financially struggling or at risk of falling into economic insecurity. Let's take a look how they get that. This is so freaking... The analysis found that despite older adults' preference to age in place, 60% would be unable to afford 2 years of in-home long-term care services and support. And 45% of people aged 60 or older had household incomes below the I talk about the stupid elder index value for their geography. That's just dumb. All right, so basically what they're saying is you couldn't afford 2 years of in-home health care. So it's all based on the long-term care fear. All based on the long-term care fear. They said the trend is worsening. Over 80% are struggling or could be at risk. You notice how they don't say who's struggling and who could be at risk? This whole freaking thing just pisses me off, pardon my French. So on St. Patrick's Day, I'm cussing. As 90% of older households experience decreases in income and net value of wealth between 2014 and 2016. So we're taking a 2-year sample size. We're saying older people experience declines in income or wealth. Well, I wonder why I did see decline in wealth. Because you're spending down your assets. It's so freaking stupid, man. I so despise this stuff. I hate it. Thus, even 500,000, if yielding more than the average amount of retirement income, might not be enough to sustain a retirement with minimal stress. In many cases, 500,000 will not be enough, says some guy named Sprung. Sprung needs to spring on back to the real world. Yeah, that one option would be explore a place to live where the cost of living would be in line with the type of savings. Even the cost of living data doesn't always tell the story. Look, can we just go back? How can there possibly 80% of the people who are struggling or about to struggle when the freaking majority, the predominant amount of retirees are living fine? We know this. How can you freaking circle that square that circle, whatever that is? You can't. Jeez, it's just so, because it's like the National Retirement Risk Index. What they do is they throw this freaking boiler point number down. They say, oh, if you had 2 years of long-term care, and you're like, okay, how many people actually have 2 years of long-term care? How many people do? Okay, but how many people right now are struggling financially? Yeah, see what I'm talking about. I mean, I could throw out there all day long. If you have a dog on your lap, you could be struggling. 80% of the people with a dog on the lap right now could be struggling financially. If we had a bear market like 2008 and you lost your job, yeah, you're damn right I'd be struggling financially. I freaking hate that crap. I hate it. It's just it's evil. Cost of living is simply one component in determining if you have enough money saved for retirement, says Sprung. Those retiring early in life with much higher expenses will need to have significant, okay, you think? All right, well, I don't. Go Bank and Rate survey found that respondents were fairly split in terms of what they're most looking for in retirement. So they can all, whatever. The whole thing just freaking. What do you think, Pablo? Pablo growl. Rrr, look at that tooth right there. I call him Snaggletooth. Look at Snaggletooth. All right, anyway. Dude, give me a flipping break. We just showed right there. You got two Social Securities. I only gave you 1.5. The average household income is $54,000. Remember, averages skews it to the higher end, to the outlier, not the lower end, the higher end. The reason why it works is because people's mortgages are paid off. I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. 80% of people who are over the age, I think it's 60, I can't remember, 60, 65, you have to look at my book, Relax and Retire, own their homes. Of that, the majority of them own their homes outright with no mortgage at all. Of that, the vast majority have lived in their houses for a long, long time, so their property taxes are still quite low. Yeah. All right, love your thoughts. Happy St. Patty's Day. If you do drink, take a pint of Guinness for me. Don't get on the road drinking and driving, though. That's not good. Can't be doing that, dudes. Can't be doing that. There's no excuse for getting on the road drinking and driving. None whatsoever. God bless. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.